And
Teal.
You know what it is, man. You're locked in the Third and Teal where they keep it real. And if you don't know, you're going to learn today. Third and Teal, baby, and I'm out. Let's go.
Third and Teal. Premium on Twitter is required to create live broadcasts on their platform. Please. Hell nah. We'll worry about that later. I ain't paying no fucking $8 for a check mark.
What?
No.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's the bye week. I got my boys on here like always. What's going on, boys? How y'all doing?
What's good?
What's happening, man? What's happening? Bye week. A lot to fix. A lot to talk about.
That's yeah.
Robert, I hope you win here today.
Uh-oh.
Hope you win here today.
Yeah, I know that it has definitely been one of those. Oh man, I mean, just one of those weeks, one of those days. I saw some of the meeting room stuff, and they're going over film, and Cohen's taking accountability, but he's also holding the guys accountable. And I do like too. We got the rookie, LaQuint Allen. He's calling out in the film room what he messed up on a play, and then coach is like, "Yeah, you're right," but he's like, "I got to put y'all in a better situation than that. That's my fault for putting you in a situation like this." Seems like he's being accountable. Seems like he's kind of keeping it real with the boys, and it's going to be interesting to kind of see what's going on going forward. Hoping we come out of this bye week, get some rest, get some guys back, and really just kind of go at it going forward.
Mm-hmm. Well,
yeah.
I like that Liam was like, "You're right," because if that was Doug last year, Doug say some stupid ass shit like, "Nah, man, that's just a great play by a good defense," and man, shut your bitch ass up. I ain't hearing all that. Shut that shit up.
Doug would tell us we wouldn't understand if he did explain it.
We wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you. You wouldn't understand. Oh, shit. I didn't understand that we were losing all the time. Oh.
Yeah. And that's a good point, because we wouldn't be 4-3 either.
No, hell no. But Liam was really good and accountable in there, man. I really liked it. Constantly saying things like, "This is not my best. I got to put you in a better position there." It's like, were there opportunities out of it? Sure. But it still wasn't the right play call for this. He actually explicitly said, "Dog shit play call." So, but they held Trevor accountable too, where he's like, there was a scramble opportunity. He's like, me and Trevor talked about that, which, I mean, cool. I agree. But also, I don't blame Trevor being a little gun shy for, wanting to scramble, because I wouldn't want to do shit that brought me closer to the back of them offensive linemen that game. I wouldn't want to do nothing. I want them dudes as far the fuck away from me as possible, because all they did was get me beat up. I mean, Robert, you better get your ass in here, man. I know you ain't doing nothing. 7 sacks, 2 consecutive weeks, my boy.
7.
And Walker Little's at the helm of it both weeks, so.
Yeah. You can't let Macari off the hook either, though.
No, Macari ain't off the hook, because Macari is problem number 1 with one of the big pictures that everybody's been posting around. You guys have been seeing where they're complaining at Trevor because Travis Hunter's wide open in the right side of the field, but Trevor takes a sack on the play.
Yeah, and there's a 6'6" offensive or defensive lineman in his face.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and Macari is literally laying on his stomach facing the wrong fucking way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Trevor, what the fuck?
Not to mention all the penalties he had Sunday. That cat had a lot of them.
Eric, I know you got some stuff to go over as well. So You just go ahead and do what you got to do, big dog, and we'll chime in when you need to. Because once I get going, bro, I'm gonna let you know I'm about to get heated.
Well, watching that game Sunday, and I said this on the big show, it's like watching chickens coming home to roost. If you look at our first 5-6 games, were we 4-3? Our first 6 games, each of them came down to one big play by the defense from us either winning or losing.
Mm-hmm.
Right? In this instance, where the last 2 weeks, our defense has not given us any turnovers whatsoever. If my memory is correct, right?
You're right.
Okay. So why is that? I mean, we ain't gonna talk about D. We're gonna talk about offense right now because those penalties are killing, man. Killing. Sunday we had 18 penalties, 13 of them accepted. That's a lot for 119 yards. 119 yards. Mm-hmm. Now some say, well, I can understand. A couple of them was bull crap. One of them was Dewey was bull crap. The one on Jarvis, Jerry was bullshit. Jarvis was bull crap. So I understand that. But my thing now is don't even put the referees in position to have to even think about making a call like that. If you think it's wrong, just don't do it. Don't do it. You get paid too much money. I mean, come on. Parker Washington, we down 14-0, second quarter. Parker Washington take one to the house. But it just get called back. Why? Supposedly Jari Jones pushed somebody in the back. Of course, when you look at it, it's like, no.
No, he didn't. He didn't even actually touch the motherfucker. But whatever.
The referee called it. So that took 7 points off the board, number one. And it took momentum away from us again.
Yep.
Now,
it's like we said them first couple weeks too, though. With like you said it perfectly too, was you can't keep putting in the referee's hands. Like for these first few weeks, we've been talking about like refs are clearly a problem. Refs are clearly a problem. You can't use that as an excuse because after so many weeks, even though it is a problem, you got to take it out of their hands because that's what's going to happen.
Exactly. Now on that same drive, and this all happened within that a short period of time. That same drive, we drive down the field, right?
Mm-hmm.
BTJ drops a pass that could have gave us another first down, kept the drive going. We call on Cam Little to come in. Okay, at least we're going to get 3 out of this. We get some points. What does he do? He misses the dang on field goal. Now, you kicking 70-yard field goals in preseason, but all of a sudden you get to when the games are real, and right now you can't kick. I wouldn't trust you with a 20-yard kick. And I do believe that's why Liam Cohen went for it so much Sunday.
Oh,
I really do. That really played into his decision-making. Because I know a lot of people out there like, why he ain't going to kick the field goals? We could have had 3 points. I don't think he has that kind of confidence in Cam Little any longer. I really don't. Now I know he get in front of the camera and say, yeah, I have, all the confidence in the world in him, but you got to start looking at production. You have to start looking at production because production is what's going to win games for you. And right now, Cam Little is not producing at all. Josh Hines Allen, he's frustrating the heck out of me right now. Because he's getting pressure. Don't get it wrong. He's getting pressure. But eventually that pressure has to turn in getting the quarterback on his back. They got to start turning into sacks. I'm sorry. Now, the one sack they did have, of course, Buster Brown committed a penalty, and that got eliminated. Once again, the penalty has raised his head. But my point is, this is not just a one game thing. This has been going on all season long. Defensively, defense has been bailing the team out in a lot of those situations to where it didn't seem as big as a problem to some people. Not us, because we spoke about it before, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I say the chickens come home to roost. because this has been something that has been going on all freaking season. The only game we had a good night was against Kansas City, and you see what happened. We ended up winning. That was just 4 penalties that night. That was it. 4 accepted penalties against us.
Well, I wouldn't even say that's the only night. And I'll tell you one little thing. This is I got to find the little folder I made for it because I know why I made it.
You know why you made it?
I know why I made it.
Oh, okay.
You get because basically what it was Trevor was the 5th highest passer. Last week.
Talking about yardage wise.
Yeah, it wasn't because he wasn't moving the ball.
He threw the ball 48 freaking times, Trevor. 48 times.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
I just don't you can't convince me that Trevor checked us out of a run that many times.
No.
Because we did not run the ball at all in the second half, it felt like.
No, we only ran
very clear running situations.
We only ran the ball 19 times Sunday. That was it. 19.
And that was a game where we needed to run the ball 30 times.
Right.
If not more. But yeah, I mean, you can't, because people are like, oh, Cohen put it in Trevor's hands and he checked out of I'm like, no. You can't convince me that down 21, Trevor checked out of that many runs whenever we were in clear running down. Trevor's a smart guy, whether you want to give him the credit or not, whether you want to say he knows football or not, whether you say he reads a defense or not. I mean, some of our biggest plays this year are off of cans. So I don't know how you can do that if you can't read a defense. It's kind of hard to it's really hard to get lucky that many times changing the play when you don't know what the fuck you're looking at. Oh.
Uh-oh. R.I.P. Trevor? Oh, he's back.
So, it just doesn't really make any sense to me why people are trying to act like that. But at the same time, though, you gotta run the ball more. We can't be in, we can't be in 1st and 10, and then we go to 1st and 15 because of some stupid pre-snap penalty, because we're trying to run pass protection and our guys are going early because they're getting their ass beat. No, run the ball. It's 1st down. We got Travis Etienne, who's been getting 5 yards a clip most of the season. We got Bayshaw Tootin, who's faster than anybody on the field. We got to start getting these guys carries in crucial situations because honestly, at the end of the day, whether we're down 21 or we're down 31, and if it's the end of the second quarter or beginning of the third quarter, you still have time.
Right.
We don't have to sit there and act like we've got this 2-minute drill. We're down by 2 touchdowns. We had time and the defense was stopping them.
Yes.
Do I wish the defense stopped them in the first half better? Sure. But they had 5 straight drives of 3 and outs on the Rams or whatever. It was 4 or 5 with 3 straights or something like that. It's how are we going to sit here and, just continue to only pass the ball and not put these guys in better situations when we have the running backs to do it? I don't know. But I mean, he's taking accountability for it. I mean, he's saying it's his fault, some of it. And
I was about to say, that's what Liam was even talking about in the video. If anybody cares to go to the Jaguars YouTube and watch the team meeting they had when they came back and they're watching film, Liam literally says it. Literally says, I've got to put you in better positions.
Okay.
Yeah, I just, man, it's tough. And, we lose Devin Lloyd and the defense can't get the ball turned over anymore.
Isn't that I was
just when we were talking about last year, man,
yes. It's crazy because I went back and watched the game again today because I recorded it. So I went back and watched the whole game again today. And that's the first thing I said. You mean to tell me Devin Lloyd means that much to us getting turnovers right now?
I mean, I'm gonna say it though. I think Ventrell Miller played great. I don't think Ventrell Miller played bad at all. But I think that we have gotten to a point where Devin Lloyd is the best pass defending linebacker on the team, if not one of the best just pass defenders in general on the team right now. As weird as it is to say that, it is especially after last season.
Right.
It's tough to say that, but yeah, I mean, he was making plays. He was getting over the middle. They were running more intricate defenses over the middle of the field rather than just a straight drop or a rush. So I just think that there's a little bit of a drop off there that's kind of hurt us. And I do think as well, we're playing these soft zones and teams continue to attack it. I just, whether you have Devin Lloyd or you have anybody else out there, even when Devin Lloyd was out there, teams are figuring out, hey, they're going to sit in cover 6 or cover 3 or cover 4 all game. So just throw it in that little area. That you've got between 15 yards deep and 30 yards deep. You've got that 10-yard window there, 15-yard window, whatever it is, that someone's going to be open for a toe tapper or to at least get upfield. Right. And again, like we put Travis Hunter out there for the first time in the second half on defense, and we put him one-on-one in man coverage against Devontae Adams, and he loses a step because Devontae Adams gets off the ball well, and he keeps up with him. And people could say it was a bad throw. It wasn't a bad throw. Matthew Stafford underthrew that so that the safety wouldn't take Devontae Adams' head off, because if he'd have thrown that 2 yards further or 3 yards further, whatever y'all think it is, the safety was going to absolutely wreck him on the sideline. Right. But Travis Hunter stayed with it, made a great play, got just enough contact with the left hand, went up with the right, and knocked the ball out against, one of the premier receivers in the National Football League at catching footballs in contested catch situations.
That had been torching us all game.
And,
yeah.
People, they asked Cohen in the press conference, they said, what are we going to see with Travis Hunter after the bye week? And Liam Cohen's response basically was that we're gonna have the best 11 men on the field as much as possible after the bye week. So it sounds like they've gotten to a point where Travis might be going full time both ways, or at least 80% of the time both ways. I think it's I think this was the point where I thought we would already be there, or right around the time I thought we would be there. But it kind of seems like his production or his usage has just gone down as the season's gone on, or it's just fluctuated too much for me. But I really hope that coming out of the bye week, that him and Lewis are the two guys, and then Lewis goes into the slot whenever somebody else comes out there, and maybe we throw Newsome or Jarian out there. But I just think that our current rotation on defense needs him more than it seems like offense can't catch a fucking football no matter who it is, but he's playing so well on defense and on offense right now. That was really his breakout game. 8 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Trevor said it best. He's sorry. It sucks that was the situation that he got his first touchdown, and he wishes it could be different. Because he really didn't even get to celebrate. He just went back to the sideline and kept the ball so he could give it to his son. But it's just, I don't know, man. We need to see more Travis Hunter. And I'm not saying that because I'm disappointed in the pick, or I think we're not doing enough, or that I think he's not worth it. I absolutely think he was worth it, and I think that he'll show us. I just think that we're not using him enough based on based on what he's supposed to be. They told us that we firmly believe he can do it and he will do it. Okay, well, let's see him do it.
Yeah, just let him do it.
And then all the, I get it on offense. I was kind of okay with it, but Diami going down. Oh, that doesn't really change Travis Hunter's role. I mean, it should. It really should. He should be seeing more targets if another guy's not out there. Love Parker Washington. He's been doing great for us. But damn, Parker Washington shouldn't be getting as many, if not more, targets than Travis Hunter week in and week out. And honestly, as of right now, I mean, shit, give him more targets than BTJ. I don't know what's going on with BTJ right now. Need to build his confidence, but
even with all that, fuck all that. He's the best fucking guy with the ball in his hands. I mean, fuck the targets, fuck everything else. His production with the ball in his hands, best. 2.56 average to throw the last two games isn't helping. Robert, I want you to remember you said that, because we're going to come back to that. I've got a folder
Isn't that the
we're going to talk about. Yeah, he's the fastest in the league.
Now, this is what I found online earlier today. Drop rates per PFF, right? Brian Thomas Jr., 11%. Travis Hunter, 4%, 4.7. Parker Washington, 12.1. Dayami Brown, 14.8. Brenton Strange, 4.2. Hunter Long, 15.4. Johnny Munt, 11.1. And Tim Patrick, 14.7.
Well, if we're going to go ahead and usher into this, we'll start with what Robert just pulled up, because Robert's actually a little bit faster than that. It's 2.37 seconds last week. He averages 2.56 over the last two games, but this last week specifically, Trevor Lawrence has the fastest time to throw of the season at 2.37 seconds. And the offense still managed to give up 17 sacks and 36 QB hits over the last 3 weeks. So all that argument we did last week about the offensive line, ball don't lie. Ball don't lie. These motherfuckers are bad. They're just bad. There's no helping it. And then back to the incompletions. Most incompletions due to drop passes or wide receiver error. The person in second place is Joe Flacco with 25. Trevor Lawrence has 39 of those.
39. Damn.
Yep.
Almost
37% of Trevor Lawrence's incompletions. 37% have been due to drop passes or wide receiver error.
Yep.
And then people are like, oh, well, Trevor's just not looking for the ball. Well, Trevor is 10th in passing yards in the NFL right now. He's literally 11 yards behind Jared Goff for 9th.
Right.
The Jaguars rank 32nd in the NFL at converting catchable targets into catches. We are the last in the league at passes that should be caught to actually being caught. Brian Thomas Jr. himself ranks 83rd out of 83 wide receivers, catching just 64.3% of his catchable targets. We're not talking total targets. We're talking catchable targets where they give him the target when Trevor's just airing the ball out so we don't take a sack or the play's a wash. Catchable targets. Yep. He only catches 64.3%. He is 83 out of 83 receivers.
Yep. That's not not good right there.
When you hit 7 in the 7, he's got to catch it. There's some other guys on the team that they're NFL receivers. They should be catching the ball anytime it's catchable for them, or at least most of the time. But your number one that had 1,200 yards last year and 10 touchdowns, we've seen him make some crazy catches.
No, that's not PFF, but I'm not going to bring you PFF stuff.
You hit him in the chest, he's got to catch it. You hit him in the hand, both hands, he's got to catch it. Again, I'm not going to sit here and say that Trevor doesn't throw some high footballs. He does. But they're catchable for the most part. And when they're not, they're out of harm's way for the most part. It's one of those things where people can complain that he throws high, but when you have a 6'5", 6'4", whatever wide receiver with a 40-inch vertical who makes contested catches all year last year and some this year, but really inconsistent with it, and too that he hit him on the sideline on the exact same route that they ran against Kansas City that they got down the sideline for that big play, and it hit him in the hands and he dropped it. He tried to push off again, and he didn't get enough push that time, and he actually slowed himself down trying to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's tough because I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm not still a Brian Thomas Jr. fan. I don't want him to be successful, and I don't want him to be our number one wide receiver. I'm not going to say any of that. I do want him to be successful. I do want him to be our number one wide receiver. I think he's a great football player, but something's wrong with him mentally right now. Something's wrong with him physically. I don't know what it is, but we got to get it figured out because we can't sit here and continue to let him dominate the targets if he's not going to come down with the football. But really, we kind of can because nobody else is coming down with it. We got 5 guys on the team right now that drop it. 1 to 1.5 out of every 10 throws they get. That's absurd. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
Robert, I agree with you on the screen pass because sometimes Trevor's just too far in front of the screens. I don't know if that's something they work on or something because it's not that he's inaccurate. Dude can put it on a pin if he wants to. I think I don't really know what's going on with the screen game because they've had multiple instances of that. I know there's been plenty of times where Trevor goes to throw a screen. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
But as far as the other stuff goes, if that's his one, if that's his ding, that's truly a him thing where it's he's off on screen passes, but he's not off on putting it in the basket on a 50-yard bomb. He's not off on a 40-yard cross or a 15-yard out. I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. But here's the thing too, though, Robert. How much of the inconsistency can you measure on Trevor or inconsistency in the wide receiver? Like, I was kind of explaining this the other day. Evaluating quarterback is one of the hardest things to do in the NFL.
True.
Because, okay, to evaluate quarterback, you have to assume that you have a functional offensive line and a good game plan. You give the quarterback options, and you have to give him time to go through the options, right?
Right.
Okay, so all of these things are like based on opinion, except for offensive line performance. So you start there. You look at offensive line. How's our offensive line performing? Over the last 2 weeks, they've probably been the worst offensive line to ever play in the NFL. They've been bad, really bad, like historically bad. Okay, so you look at that, and then you almost immediately have to put a stop marker on evaluating the quarterback position. Because the only other thing you can look at further than that is what does he do when he's running for his life? You know what he didn't do? He didn't turn the ball over. He protected the football. And that's all you can ask him to do when he's running for his life. And he still managed to throw the 5th highest amount of passing yards last week. So if we're going to sit here and we're going to say, Trevor's the problem, well, then you have to say the offensive line's the problem. And then you also have to say the wide receivers are the problem. But then if you have to say all of that, is it Trevor the problem? You can't just say it's a Trevor problem. It's not possible for you to say it. If you say it, you're just saying it literally to be a hater. You cannot consistently tell me Trevor is the problem. None of us know if it's Trevor or wide receivers are off on depth. Well, let's just be real here. Trevor's the fucking captain of the boat. If they're in practice and he tells them you run this fucking route here, they run that fucking route there. And if they don't, it's going to be off. It's that simple. I mean, Travis Hunter literally explained it to us 2 weeks ago. Made that big-ass catch, or no, 3 weeks ago, when he made that big-ass catch over Kansas City. We've run that route 100 times. We ran it like 13 extra times after practice the other day, just so we could get it down. And wide receivers are pretty good on counting steps on routes for depth. You know, I don't even think it's the depth thing, honestly, Robert. I mean, he doesn't miss them by overshooting them very often. If that happens, it's because they're getting jammed up on the line and the timing's off. I mean, that happens sometimes. But that's the football thing. That happens. But if we're going to sit here and, again, say, oh, well, Trevor's off on the depth. Okay, well, is he off on the depth or is the wide receiver not where he's supposed to be? Because you got to think, the quarterback position is 99% of the time played based off of anticipation. I'm throwing it where you're supposed to be.
I know the ETN one was brought up about the swing pass to the right. Just watching the film, I'm not going to put it on here because NFL, like YouTube's been a bitch about flagging us for no fucking reason, even though we're completely following fair use guidelines and everything. But like just looking at it and the way that the tight end blocks out, it almost looks like ETN was supposed to go upfield.
That's what I thought.
Because the tight end blocks out.
Right.
So the tight end shouldn't be blocking out if it's supposed to be an outside play. So that's the only thing I'm thinking is like ETN looked like he was supposed to go up because he kind of like starts to go up when he rounds behind them and then he like flattens out and then, you know, the ball's in front of him and the tight end's blocking outwards and then De'Ami Brown is moving up to get to the next level blocker or like a defender. So
and that's what I was saying earlier. It's like I think that's something that's supposed to do. Like Trevor's supposed to put the ball forward, but for some reason our backs keep flattening out. It was a problem he's had with Bashaw Tootin a couple times also, where I think he's trying to put it up where they can run into it and take off, and they're just wanting to flatten out, let it paint them on the chest, and then go. It's small little miscommunication things that we do see through a lot of the facets of this team's game. But also, Robert, I don't think Travis Hunter said the first time it ever worked was in the game. He explicitly said, if I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure he explicitly said we threw that route 13 extra times in practice until we got it right. You know, hey, and you know what? That's fine. Receivers are supposed to be pissed. If a quarterback makes a mistake, receivers need to hold him accountable. If the wide receivers make a mistake, the quarterback's got to hold him accountable. That's how accountability works. So if Trevor did overthrow him, I mean, sure, it's going to happen. That's the thing. Everybody has gotten so keen on, oh, my God, there's a Trevor mistake. That's actually a him thing. That's a him problem. You guys forget that the shit happens. That you're not going to throw a perfect passer rating every fucking game.
But that's what they're wanting. That's what they're asking for.
I know the expectations have become completely unrealistic in a perfect situation, much less this situation.
Exactly. And on a screen pass, you don't want to throw it behind the line of scrimmage anyway. That's why they tell you to throw it forward. Yeah, that's why you have to throw it forward. I mean, for those that know football would understand that piece right there. Because I thought the same thing, Isaiah, about that play right there. I thought the same thing.
Yeah, because ETN was basically even with him because he rounded and then he just flattened out completely. And if he throws it to him like that, I mean, that's could be a fumble if he doesn't catch it.
And if he gets popped, it pops the ball up. Any number of things could have taken place, especially because you want to hit them in stride. You want them to round the corner a little bit, just turn so they can catch it here and go, not stop. Oh, I'm here, and then go. You want to maintain momentum because if not, your offensive line is just stuck out there on solo islands, one-on-one.
Yep.
And the screen is to catch them off target, get speed, get momentum, get out to the side, help your guys run, get in front, and try to clear as much space as they can. You don't want to just shift a run play essentially to the other side of the field. That's not what it's supposed to do.
Right.
So if we just stop, catch the ball, hey, I'm right here, and then go, you have no momentum, and it defeats the whole fucking point of what you just did.
Right.
So who knows?
And if I remember correctly on that play, it was a double screen playing, a double screen, one to the left and the one to the right. So, yeah. Hey, but here's the question: since Travis Hunter is beginning to come into his own as a wide receiver now, think we should just go ahead and make him number one receiver for right now?
He's number one receiver and DB.
Yeah. Okay.
And honestly, I don't even think it's about making it. You don't have to make it. He already is. Let him play where he's at. That's where he's excelling. Who cares? Because honestly, at this point, the traditional days of the NFL where wide receiver 1 is on the left side of the field, wide receiver 2 is on the right side, and then you got your slot. That shit's over with. That shit is dead. That shit does not exist anymore.
Right.
You got a wide receiver 1. He's the guy you feed the most targets to.
Also, I just love that, all game long, the Rams were getting away with so many penalties, and then they waited until the second half to actually call any on them. It made no sense that somehow they had a completely perfect first half, and then all of a sudden in the second half they start getting calls when they're up 21-0. That doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's the same thing that happened in Kansas City. We went down 2 touchdowns, and then I'll be damned, they finally called a penalty on them for the first time. It's the same thing that actually happened in Cincinnati. It sounds like the Peterson scheme. No, we just have trauma scars with screens. Okay.
Yes.
It's not the Peterson screen. Screens are a great tool. They are a really great tool when you got people that are stacking the box and then dropping back in coverage, but you don't think they can get out there fast enough. You just want to show them that you're multifaceted and that they can't just zero in on sending pressure up the middle because you'll burn them for it. The problem is it just didn't work out. If you send fire up the middle, the idea of the screen is I'm supposed to get the fucking ball out, and then all of their linebackers are in the quarterback's face, and the ball is now over here. There's no problem. You got an easy 20, 25-yard gain.
Right.
But that's when it works, and it didn't work. So, and that's the thing, too, is it's not even that I saw a bunch of stuff that was just oh, my God, we're just not trying good stuff. We still tried good things. It's just receivers got to fucking show up, man. Receivers got to show up, and offensive line's got to show up. Trevor's been running for his life for 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, I know 2 people were trying to blame Trevor for that Diami Brown throw over the middle. Mm-hmm. What's up?
No, I was saying 1, 2.
Oh.
2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, so people were trying to blame Trevor on that Diami Brown throw over the middle. First of all, Diami Brown looked like he was fucking jogging.
Yeah, I swear.
Second of all, it's fucking, what is it, 4th down on that play? It's 4th and 2. Mm-hmm. They've got you running the route over the middle. It looks kind of like I don't even know. It looks like it's supposed to be like a shallow crosser, but at the same time, it looks like it's supposed to be a slant. But you're supposed to be looking at the quarterback as soon as you fucking put your foot in the ground on a play like that. You're not supposed to be lollygagging over the middle and what's going on? And then, honestly, because I think Trevor waited to try and throw that ball because he wasn't fucking looking at him. Yep. And then he puts it on him. And it was almost an interception because, Brown's over here and he's like, oh, shit. And he like just puts his hand out like,
yep.
What are you fucking doing, dude? First of all, look at the quarterback and run. Like he rounded the route. So that's why I think it might be a crosser. I'm not going to say he ran it completely wrong, but like yeah, I mean, it looks kind of like it's a one-step slant. Like just look for the ball, dude. What are we doing? Like, it's 4th and 2. Okay. After two steps, you're 3 yards down the field. Look for the ball. Like, what are we doing?
Not playing wide receiver. That's what we're not doing.
Apparently not. Apparently not.
It just comes down to this simple. It's like I said last week, and I'll say the same thing again. The only way we're going to start winning again is if this offensive line finds some fucking shape and form of anything resembling blocking and pass protection. And these wide receivers got to use their fucking hands. I mean, it's that simple. The defense, look, that's Matthews fucking Stafford, bro. That guy is a dog.
Yes, he is.
It's just that simple. It's that simple, okay? And hold on. We only ran the ball 19 times in the last 2 games. Can win if the play action doesn't work. Well, I'm assuming you meant can't win if the play action doesn't work. And
right, that's what he meant.
I'm going to be honest with you. I think the only reason they started running the play action was to try to get Trevor some momentum so he had time to run. Because they weren't stopping shit. I'm just being honest with you. If it's me, that's all I can hope for is that maybe Trevor can get some misdirection. Maybe they fall for him going one way or something like that. Maybe it's just enough to buy him that extra second. You're trying to create the extra second that the offensive line is just not giving you.
Right.
Because, and here's the thing, Robert, we can sit here. This is where people that watch the NFL and analysts, they all get too fucking cute. Okay? We ran the ball 19 times in the past 2 games. Everyone's like, oh, you got to run more. Okay, well, let's look at those 19 fucking times, shall we? Because they went nowhere. Only a handful of them did anything worth a fuck. And it ain't because the running backs ain't got the vision. They've already showed us they can find the hole. Well, Robert, you're right. You got to keep the D honest. But you can't keep the D honest if the offensive line doesn't do their fucking job. There's no honesty. They're getting out physical on every fucking rep. Every rep.
Well, I'm sure most defenses are coming in with a game plan of stopping our running game anyway, being that it's one of the top ones in the league. So they're selling out to stop the run, period. However, when we do run the ball, we got to have some kind of blocking. Got to have some type of blocking. Something, just a crease or something, But when your starting guard is all the way back in the backfield with the running back, that makes it hard to run anywhere. So,
and it makes it worse too because, like you said, Rob, to keep the D honest, that is the old school way, and you're absolutely right. It's still tried and true today, but you can't keep them honest if you're not winning in the trenches. It's just that simple. You cannot. You can't do anything if you can't win in the trenches. ETN still was getting like 3.5. Yeah, when they backed off in zone coverage because it was already 2nd and 15 because they got a sack on first down. I mean, it's not. I mean, look, we can sit here and play the stat game all you want, Robert. It's about the pass. Can we pass the eye test with this fucking production of the line? No, we can't.
No.
If it's 1st and 5, it could be 1st and 3. We're not going to run the ball for a first down in most of them cases, just because this line is just getting dominated. They're not just getting beat. They're getting dominated. Like, they're getting moved off of their spot. And it's not even close. Not even close. And then, we talk about ETN's getting this, ETN's getting it. You have to keep trying to run regardless. For what? Because then if we just keep running the ball, okay, all right, that's the devil's advocate. Let's play devil's advocate. We run the ball 20 more times that game. We throw it 20 less times. Then everybody's like, oh, you got to throw the ball more. Clearly, they were zoned in on the run.
That's the argument right there.
That's the argument. That's what I'm trying to tell you, Robert. It does not matter what way you go. You could have evenly split this bitch. 25 passes, 25 rushes, and we still lose the game because this offensive line is terrible.
I miss the days of running downs because I feel like nobody really does that anymore.
They don't.
But no, we should have ran the ball more. I'm not going to sit here and argue with Robert on that because I do think that we should have. We weren't winning necessarily in the trenches, but we've got two 2 running backs on the roster, potentially 3, that all they need is a crease and they can make a big play. And they're at least gonna fall forward and get you 2 to 4 yards every play most of the time when they run. You know, and we're clearly not blocking well in the pass game. The run game wasn't doing great, but it wasn't doing bad. I mean, I'm just sitting here and I'm thinking like, okay, we're down 21 points. We got two and a half minutes left in the second half or in the first half. Okay. Right. Yes, I can see us throwing the ball more right there. But we come out in the third quarter. We come out there, we get up there. It's second and 4. Run the fucking ball. No, we're throwing a 6, 7, 8 yard pass down the field, or we're throwing it 20 yards down the field. Now it's 3rd and 4. Are we going to run it now? No, we're going to throw it. And guess what we're going to do on 4th down? We're going to throw it again. Like, there were very clear situations where we should have run the ball.
And we did.
And I, you know, part of me is just so mad because, like, everybody talks about the ones that, everyone talks about the ones where, oh, Trevor missed that throw. Trevor missed that. He threw too high here. He threw too. Okay, but then they're going to ignore when it's 3rd and 15 and he hits Parker Washington in the chest at 18 yards and it fucking deflects off of him. And then they're not going to talk about when it's 2nd and 8 and Trevor Lawrence hits Brian Thomas Jr. 14 yards down the field in the number 7 and he fucking drops it. And then they're going to talk about when Trevor Lawrence puts a fucking absolute dime that he threw 2 weeks ago against Kansas City or a week ago or whatever and hits Brian Thomas Jr. in both hands, but he slows down and tries to push off and make a play. Like, nobody's going to talk about how he put it in both of Brian Thomas Jr. hands high down the sideline and he drops it. You know, people are going to talk about the drops, but they're never going to associate the drops with players not performing well when Trevor does perform well. Because the thing is, sure, Trevor Lawrence has his flaws. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's a top 5 quarterback or any of that stuff, whatever. I don't care. I'm not going to sit here and say who's what and who should be ranked where. What I will tell you, though, is nobody that talks shit about Trevor and says like how terrible he is will ever admit that every single game that we play or that we hang around in, he does enough to win us the game, and the cast lets him down. And people are like, oh, you know, people have been making that excuse for 5 years. It's year 5. It's year 5. Yeah, it's year 5. And every single fucking year, every single fucking person that's not a Jacksonville Jaguars fan says, God damn, I feel so bad for you guys and for Trevor. You know, he's really a decent quarterback. He's not generational, but like he really is a decent quarterback. You know, those guys, you guys are leading the league in drops and your offensive line can't block. But then you come to fucking brain dead Jacksonville and everybody's like, oh man, Trevor Lawrence, you know, Mahomes would win on Mahomes wouldn't win shit on this team. Well, I'm not like, let's not sit here and act like putting a different quarterback in this situation suddenly makes it better. Because if Patrick Mahomes throws Brian Thomas Jr. a perfect pass and it hits him in the number 7, apparently he can't catch that, whether it's Patrick Mahomes, fucking Trevor Lawrence, Mac Jones, whoever. So, you know, let's not sit here and act like just because, you know, Trevor's not playing great or he's not perfect or he's not, PFF says this. Okay, cool. I really don't care. He's got to throw the ball faster than any other quarterback in the National Football League. It's been like that for fucking 5 years. Every single year it's like that. And then, you know, this year and last year we have little flashes of, oh, the O-line's not that bad. And then we have 2 fucking games with 7 sacks back to back and fucking pressures on 75% or more of his dropbacks. Like, and he's still putting the ball in people's fucking hands and in their chests and giving them opportunities to go up and get it. Because that's the thing is every quarterback that's a great quarterback gives their guy an opportunity to go up and get it. But when Trevor does it, that's a bad throw. That's a high pass. He's high pass pro.
Yeah, he's bad.
You know, but Matthew Stafford gives his guy a chance to go up and get it, and his guy makes the play. Well, his guy's fucking Devontae Adams. His guy's fucking Puka Nacua. You know, like we give all these other guys the benefit of the doubt when they make passes that not a lot of NFL wide receivers can actually catch, but they've got the best fucking wide receivers in the league to catch them. And that's what we thought we had in Brian Thomas Jr. But now we're sitting here and he's fucking dropping footballs. You know, and Parker Washington's playing like our best player right now on offense outside of now Travis Hunter. Like, okay, give us fucking Jamar Chase. What? Give Trevor Devontae Adams. You know, give Trevor one of these guys that's considered the top dog who has done it for multiple years, not just our one splash year out of Thomas. I still believe in him, but right now he doesn't have exactly all of my favor. Give him one of those guys, and we're not having these conversations. You're talking about, oh man, Trevor put it where only Jamar Chase could go up and get it. there is no, oh man, he should have really put that lower. Oh man, he's throwing it too hard. He's a fucking NFL quarterback. You think he got there because he couldn't fucking throw a football hard?
Well, I mean, he could be worse. Look at what Caleb Williams did.
Well, you think he needs to fucking lob it whenever a guy's in fucking double coverage? And then they're talking about a Parker Washington hospital ball. Bro, he got tipped at the line of scrimmage. What the fuck are we talking about? Like,
and fuck you for saying hospital ball.
Yeah, watch
you get
fucking
paid
football.
Fucking 10, 15, 25. I mean, dude, you're making millions every fucking year. It's your job. Go get the fucking ball.
Go get the ball.
Catch a fucking
Go
football.
get the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And hey, it's like, well, yeah, Jefferson isn't doing shit with Wentz tonight. Well, he didn't do shit with him last week either. No, dude, let's talk about this too, because everybody wants to bring up, well, he was way better with Mac Jones. Mac Jones didn't get him the ball past 20 fucking yards.
Well,
Mac Jones hit him on underneath slant routes the whole fucking time, and he was fast as fuck. That's what
we also could mention that he wasn't game planned to get the football when Trevor Lawrence was playing. But then as soon as Trevor Lawrence goes down, Doug Peterson wants to give him 16 targets a game, 20 targets a game, slant routes, out routes, short stuff. Like, let's not sit here and act like...
everybody still forgets that his breakout game where he like really settled in was still with Trevor.
Yeah.
Trevor threw him that deep fucking bomb against the fucking Colts, and that's all it took.
Yeah.
So, and here's the thing, bro. Trevor's not – you want to talk about a quarterback that might actually be putting too much heat on it, trying to beam people in the fucking chest? Look at Caleb Williams, dude. But y'all won't sit here and tell me that Roma Odunze is just that much better than Brian Thomas Jr. You wouldn't fucking tell me that. You won't fucking say that, but he catches them. It's just double standards. Double standards and hypocrisy filled with just these, these personally curated narratives that they refuse to actually observe the truth. Mac Jones does have more touch on the ball. No, he just has less of an arm.
Mac Jones just can't throw it as hard.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think it's about having more touch. He just doesn't have the same arm.
There are situations where Trevor could put more touch on it, but an issue with that is a lot of the times when people say he's throwing into tight coverage, and you can't put touch on a ball in tight coverage.
No,
and he's putting fucking tight ropes, dude. He is throwing fucking balls this year, especially that are on absolute.
You're a fucking
ropes.
NFL wide receiver with gloves.
Catch the fucking ball.
With gloves, catch the fucking ball.
Yeah. You got them fancy gloves on. Catch the ball.
You're an NFL offensive lineman. You're 300
you go back to no gloves.
Pounds. Stand in the fucking way.
You go back to no gloves, and all of a sudden, nobody's fucking catching those footballs.
Have you watched the 49ers games?
Yes, I have watched the 49ers games. Mac Jones is not throwing darts and hitting people 60 yards down the field. Like,
he's doing the same thing that Brock Purdy does. He's a good game manager. They have a really good scheme. Kyle Shanahan is a fucking genius.
They're icing his shoulder because he's throwing 50 times a game, and McCaffrey's getting 40 of them.
Yeah, they're just dumping it to McCaffrey. And you have one of the best running backs in the league, too, at the same –
McCaffrey is currently top 10 in receiving yards right now in receptions.
Yeah, let's not see, Robert. That's what I'm talking about. You be dropping the most curated statements I've ever heard in my life. Imagine Trevor Lawrence was the wide receiver, and we were saying Brian Thomas Jr. threw him the ball too hard for him to catch. I mean, imagine if any other team in the fucking league, like Baker Mayfield throws absolute fucking piss missiles. He fucking launches that bitch. And you know what? Everybody says, "Oh, Baker's a dog. He's him," which I agree. I'm not bullshit. Baker is him. But ain't nobody talking about how hard he throws the ball because it don't fucking matter. Because his receivers catch that motherfucker.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey, the running back for the 49ers, in case nobody knows who that is currently 4th in targets. And he is 3rd in receptions, 8th in receiving yards. That's and his yards after catch, he has 402. So I don't want to hear about how Mac Jones is throwing darts down the field whenever he has the number 1 receiving back in the NFL with more yards after catch than he has yards running.
Jags United claims Trevor Lawrence throws an untouchable ball. Well, look, I will say I still appreciate that man for the things he's done for us. And I do like him personally. But I have never been a fan of his takes on Trevor. I've always thought they were a little bit one-sided. So,
look, you know, we can have this argument over and over and over again. Here's my thought on it. You're a professional football player. Your job is to catch the football. You do it in practice, right? You do it pregame. So what's wrong with in-game action? Catch the freaking ball. Catch the ball. It's just that simple.
And we talk about some of the best quarterbacks in the league too, like Josh Allen. What's his superpower? He's got one of the biggest arms in the league. You think his ball's coming in there super soft?
No.
No.
My thing is, you have a right-handed quarterback throwing a football with a spiral. How is that any less catchable than any other right-handed quarterback throwing a football with a spiral, especially when it hits you in the hands?
The spin is different. That's what it is. That's what it is. The spin is different.
He says we lead the because of Teal.
Oh. Robert says BTJ wasn't doing it in practice. You know what? If he's not doing it in practice, don't put him on the field then. See,
Trade for Zay Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's bring back Zay Jones. I'm good.
I don't even give a fuck. I would. That guy caught everything. I don't care. Chuck that shit at him.
Let's get Marvin Jones to come out of retirement. I'm up for that.
I would definitely be up for that. My thing is, though, is like I said,
Zay Jones has 12 receptions for 183 yards. He's doing okay.
well, look, exactly, coaches. Well, I'll be honest with you. Our passing game coordinator has been proven to be hot ass in everywhere that he's went. So
I don't think that's what's happening here, though. I mean I'm
not saying it, but I'm saying he's bringing up coaches.
I mean, I'm just saying that I think that whole thing is way blown out of proportion. But also, we wouldn't be talking about drops right now if our passing game coordinator was asked, because they wouldn't even be getting the football in the first place.
Facts.
So
Facts.
I think we're good on that one. But no, I mean, coaches just like, yeah, I mean, you should have these guys out there taking catching the ball 1,000 times and restarting if they drop it. Like,
yeah,
I get these are professional athletes and blah 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 whatever, but like clearly there's something going on, and if the jugs machine isn't, you can't replicate Trevor's throw, the jugs machine, then I mean, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, fix it, because it's the fucking National Football League. But here's the thing too. Everybody, it's Trevor Lawrence's fault. Well, let's break it down, okay? Brian Thomas Jr., beginning of the year, he's ducking the fucking football and only one hand tapping him. Everybody was willing to place that on him. So is it so unfathomable to think that right now he's dealing with a confidence issue? No, it's not, because that is what is going on. Then you look at Parker Washington. Let's move to Parker Washington. He's developed a drop issue. He caught everything that Trevor threw at him last year. Every fucking thing. And up until just 2 weeks ago, he caught everything he threw at him this year. So Trevor ain't fucking changed, bro. Okay, move past from that. De'Ami Brown. De'Ami Brown just got here. De'Ami Brown has not been consistent since we got him. So are you really just going to say it's a Trevor problem when the guy that barely had 1,000 career yards over 3 fucking years can't catch the ball? Are we fucking serious? Are we serious? And, that's the thing. That's why I say, like, again, I appreciate what you brought up, Duval. Just like, every other podcast you're going to watch for the most part, they all say, this is a Trevor thing. It's a Trevor thing. I mean, he's top 10 in yards. He's got the fastest snap to throw. He's not turning the ball over. What the fuck else do you want him to do, bro? I don't understand. And these guys sit here and they get on their shows and they claim to be true fans and stuff like that, but they just send Trevor to hang for all of the indiscrepancies and shortcomings of this offense. And I think it's fucking ridiculous. Garrett Wilson or Levy. Are you talking about Olave?
Olave, probably.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't mind having Olave, I guess. Sometimes he has a drop issue too, though.
Well, Olave's drop issue is typically from him getting thrown into actual hospital balls.
Yeah, he's actually getting murdered for sure. No, we got you, Robert. We know what you're talking about. No, I wouldn't mind having Olave at all. But I mean, I think you look at this team, bro. If you were to do this, if you were to take this team and you were to just like put a paint mark over every one of the players and just throw the football in the hands, show the football in the hands, so that way they wouldn't know what team they're watching. Everyone would be like, damn, those receivers need to fucking do better, man. That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
Then you take the paint markers off, and they're going to go right back to, well, Trevor kind of throws it hard, and it's a Trevor problem, I think. And, yeah, it's hypocrisy. They're dedicated to the narrative that Trevor's the problem.
Maybe Trevor is losing confidence in the wide receivers.
No, he is losing confidence in the wide receivers. That's why he started holding the ball a little longer towards the end of the game. What the fuck's the point of me? What am I going to do? You want me to rocket arm it in there into the small window that we have just so you can bounce it off the chest plate? It can be a pick and it's my fault? I mean,
it's a no-win situation, isn't it?
And this is exactly why I said earlier that evaluating quarterback is the hardest job in the NFL.
Right.
Because again, then so you move, say we want to ignore the offensive line being terrible. Let's just go receiver and quarterback. Okay, so he's hitting them in the chest. They're not using their hands. They're trying to catch it with their chest. It's bouncing off their chest plate. That's the shit that gets you sat in high school football games. Let's just be real. You guys are trying to get too cute with your forced narrative bullshit. Okay? You let it hit you in the chest. You try to catch it with the chest in high school. Your coach pulls you out of the fucking game. And they tell you, we don't teach you to catch it with your chest. You use your fucking hands.
Right.
Okay? And then so we move past that. And then we start talking about the offensive line again. And there's nothing good to say about that. So you move past that. And you just look all around. You're like, all right, so if he puts it high so they can't catch it with their chest, that's a problem. If he puts it back on the numbers, they bounce it off the chest plate. If he puts it where only they can get it, they bobble it with their fingertips. If he tries to stand in the pocket and wait for them to be completely alone, so there's no chance that they fuck it up, he gets sacked because the offensive line doesn't give him any time. There's no way that you can completely evaluate Trevor Lawrence as a quarterback right now. You'd like to see Trevor throw the fucking ball away. Well, okay, so a 10-yard sack or a 15-yard intentional fucking grounding? Which one would you rather have? Because he doesn't have time to get outside the guards. So I'll wait.
Another dilemma we have.
Well, I'm just saying, let's be real about it. If you want to bring up the 10-yard sack, well, let's talk about the penalty for intentional grounding because that's what it's going to be.
And loss of down.
Yeah, loss of down and intentional. I mean, that's what I'm saying, Robert. You sound just like them right now. We're like, no matter what the guy does, he's the problem. And I'm not saying he plays perfect. I'm just being real. Like, if you want to be real, be real. Be real. Is he going to miss some throws? Yep. He's a fucking human being. Is he going to make every read? No. Tom Brady didn't make every read either. But damn, if he ain't got no fucking help out there and he's running for his life, his guards and his tackles play like it's their first time touching a football field, what do you want him to do? Well, I guess he can see the wide receiver's feet. I'm going to – no, you can just have that one, Robert.
Okay.
You just have that one, Robert. And here's the thing, too, Robert. Every time he runs towards one of our tackles, they start holding like a motherfucker anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're obvious about it, too. All I'm saying is, Robert, I'm not saying he's the perfect quarterback. I'm saying you have not, and none of us have, had a true opportunity this year to really see 100% what he can be in this system. You have no idea. You don't know. Because even over the first few weeks when they were touting our offensive line as one of the best in the league, I still called bullshit. Because there were still a lot more pressures than the stats wanted to show. And there were still a lot more times. Like, I mean, the Cincinnati game, Walker Little single-handedly fucked us out of 3 scoring drives, I believe. I know 2 of them were guaranteed. I mean, they were passing touchdowns that would have been completed if he just does his job.
True.
So, I mean, you look at it, you're like, And Robert, we're not talking about the first 3 years. Year to year is about progression.
Robert, you should be in love with your Jaguars, too. Sounds like you're in love. You should be in love with your Jaguars, too.
You are fucking ain't right. I'm committed to my team's quarterback, and I'm committed to the fact that I'm not. Here's the thing. Even if I didn't love this team, man, I'm going to be a realist. 100% a realist. You want to talk about a quarterback that just can't fucking do anything? Go watch Justin Fields play. That motherfucker threw for 26 yards in an entire game. And we're sitting here talking about Trevor Lawrence throwing in for the top 5th amount of passing yards, taking a 7-sack game on top of it with the fastest snap to throw. Stop the fucking madness. You guys are just trying to force the narrative that he's the problem. It's the same shit y'all did to Blake Bortles. Here's what's going to happen. You fuckers are going to keep this shit up. They're going to trade Trevor to somebody else. Trevor's going to go be a fucking Pro Bowler and bring a ring somewhere because you guys were too fucking retarded to pay attention to what's actually in front of you. You don't want to look at it and be real about it. You want to look at it and force this narrative because you want this one thing to be the problem. It's so much simpler if it's just him. But it isn't. It's a more complex problem than that. Everybody on that line has shown weakness this entire fucking year. Every one of our receivers has shown they have a problem using their hands. It's just... Look, man, Robert, I'm not saying you're not a fan, dog. I don't give a damn. I don't care. I'm just happy you come in. But the problem is, the problem is this, that everyone that seems to comment on this team would just much rather it be Trevor Lawrence and not be everybody else. Like, and it's not, I'm not saying Trevor doesn't contribute. Trevor does contribute to some of the problems. He's not perfect. No one on the team is perfect. But if we're going to sit here and start holding tally sheets for who's fucking up more, I mean, be real about it. Just be honest. And the thing is, too, every one of these, most of these podcasts, I can't say everyone. I don't know why every one of them say it. Maybe it is their true opinion. But I'm of the belief that a lot of these podcasts like to get on the Trevor Lawrence's trash train because that's what the national media says. And that gets them along with everybody else. That just puts them in uniformity. And it just flows down the pipeline. You'll see video after video after video. Any contradictory opinions typically go with adversity. I don't give a shit about the adversity for saying that he's not the only problem, and I don't think he is the problem because I do this because I genuinely care about the team, I care about football, and I watch this team.
Right. Exactly. Well, one thing I know, Gladstone won't play around.
You're damn right about that. We all can agree we fucking love that guy.
I love Robert really pulled it out, put it on the table, and said, "You got a Jags room, I got a Jags house."
That's facts. Fuck yeah, Robert.
I got a Jags life. Bro's probably got his truck wrapped in Jaguars. Let's talk about it. Come on now.
I thought about it. Look, I thought about it.
Shit, if they paid me, I would.
Yeah, that'd be the only way. That would be the only way. No, it wouldn't.
Well, you know what's crazy? So, like, this is a perfect example of people are just going to find shit to hate on. Okay? Like, Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing record. They did a new helmet for this game. Right, the logo placement is a little off, you know. And someone said this logo is painful to look at. People are like, Steelers fans will find a way to blame this on Mike Tomlin.
Of course.
And then all the fans are talking about Mike Tomlin. What do you want the man to do? He won you a fucking Super Bowl and he's never delivered you a losing season. But
hey,
you can't win.
Look, like I always say, fans are gonna fan.
You damn right.
You know. And some of them are the most ill-informed fans there are out there. So those usually the ones doing the most talking.
You're right. So, and, you know, I can't say that I watched the Jags United show from this week because I haven't. I took my time off this week to do absolutely as much nothing as I could.
I don't think he's done one this week yet. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, past week. I didn't watch it last week either. I should have, but I'm slacking on watching other pods right now. But I will say this, though. Like, it's not. I don't think they ever just come out straight out of left field. But I very rarely hear them use any of the very specific facts of the things that will really pinpoint the issues. Like, say for instance, Robert, you brought up the time to throw. I don't remember I'm not saying they haven't ever, but I don't remember the last time they ever brought that up. Because that's indicative of an offensive line problem. So. And you can't bring on your show and say Trevor Lawrence is the problem, but then present all the facts to show otherwise. I don't know. I think that's why you see a discrepancy in opinion a lot, but they're still all good dudes. I think for most part, everybody we've interacted with for the most part is good dudes. I like it.
You know, most people say that because the quarterback is usually the name and the face of the franchise, so. They don't know anything else about it. They just know who the quarterback is and the team lost.
Oh, yeah. Wins and losses are quarterback stats.
Yeah.
Actually, not wins. Not wins, just losses.
Just losses.
Losses are quarterback stats. Just losses. Yeah.
That's all they know. That's all they know.
That's how I feel about, say, for instance, even Caleb Williams. I've watched the Bears lose some tough games this year, and it wasn't a Caleb Williams problem, but people still swear it's a Caleb Williams problem.
Yeah.
Same thing they do to Bo Nix. Bo Nix, dude, those Broncos go out there and they're a gritty team. They are a gritty team. And Bo Nix is going to be around for a long time, more than likely. And people will still say, oh, it's Bo Nix. It's not fucking Bo Nix, dude. You're crazy. You're insane. And hell, I'll even show like a little bit like to the Titans. Cam Ward throws a hell of a ball.
Yeah.
He's got great ball placement, it seems like. I mean, sure, he's got some rookie moments so far, but like Cam Ward's got really good ball placement, and he's got really good pocket discipline, it seems like. Like, he's willing to stand in there and take the hit to deliver the throw. But yet this team is losing, and everybody's like, oh, they should have drafted Jackson Dart. No, they wouldn't fucking change anything. That line is terrible, and none of his receivers are trying to help him. Like, he has no help. It's not. It's just crazy. Everything's a quarterback stat.
That's exactly what it is. And the fans gonna fan because that's all they know. And then they listen to the talking heads, ESPN, Barstool Sports, the jokers like that. They're gonna listen to them as well. And first thing the talking head says, well, he was supposed to be a generational talent. He was blah, 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 blah. Same thing they've been saying, before he was drafted.
I would argue it takes a whole lot of talent to stand behind that offensive line, throw the 5th most passing yards, and still have the least time to throw in a game where you still had 7 sacks. Who would you guys want in a trade? Well, that depends. What are you talking about? What kind of trade? Are we talking about like a quarterback, or are we? Because we were talking about quarterbacks. So are you talking about a quarterback, or are you just talking about in general? Because in general, it's not gonna happen. Because I will never forget that Isaiah said this, because I think it was the most wise statement in general that he's ever made. Like, for just and I'm not literally that he doesn't have more.
And I say a lot of wise stuff.
Okay. He does have his moments. But this right here was like the most easy to understand statement that any fan of football in general should understand with no issue. Good offensive linemen don't move during the year. So
it's fact.
I would love an offensive lineman, but it's not going to happen. So if you look at that, I want to see defensive line. We're getting beat in the trenches on both sides, and it's not even funny.
I would say bring us another safety, because y'all know I love my man Dewey. I do, but Dewey looked kind of suspect last couple of weeks.
Yeah,
he looked a little suspect the last couple of weeks. So I say we could bring us in a top-notch safety.
I agree.
We fix a lot of that back there.
Yeah, I'd say probably a safety. Or potentially. Geez, potentially.
Oh, well, just as I gave you credit.
I know. A lot of wise stuff. Yeah, so probably I would say safety and
I agree with that, Robert.
Interior defensive lineman.
Yeah.
If possible, I don't know what we'd give up for but if possible, that's what I would go for. My only thing about it though is if we bring in a guy like that. The issue I have at that point is our team's just going to start throwing the ball on us more because our safeties are now the weakest part and they don't really they're not going to be able to run on us as well. Or they're just going to start attacking the safeties. I think safety is probably our biggest need right now on defense.
I don't know. I feel like our safeties actually do a better job locking up than it seems sometimes. I'm not saying there haven't been plays. There have been plays. But like
Louis been slipping a little bit.
But I can remember plenty of times already this year where I'm like, damn, dude, how much time are we going to give him to look for somebody?
Right. Exactly.
Like, and that shows you that the secondary is doing their job, but you can't ask them to go out there and cover for 8-9 seconds. Like that's an impossible task. Eventually someone's going to do some off the wall shit and they're going to find space. That's just the nature of the beast. So
yeah, the issue with that is then you got to bring in you got to trade for one of the best pass rushing interior defensive linemen in the country at that point.
I know.
And that's where the issue becomes is anybody going to be willing to move off of a guy like that at this point in the season? Likely not, even if they're a bad team. So that's kind of the issue that I'm having.
And then the question would be who we have to give up to get him.
Yeah, I do like Raywan Lane. I don't know if he's necessarily ready to start though, but I do think that we're probably going to see more Lane as the year goes on. And then next season, I think there's a good chance that Dewey is either finding a new place to be or he's back to more special teams and rotation.
Yeah.
You know what, too? Jeff just sent something in the main chat, and it just made me think about the quarterback thing a little bit more. We could have Tua. We could have Tua turn the ball over.
Yeah, Tua turned the ball over. There's never been a more accurate nickname given to a quarterback.
And is there
besides maybe Colin Sackerpick?
Wow.
Is there any good safeties to trade for? I don't.
I know that Kyle Duggar's been shopped around. He's not the best, but he's better than I'd say he's better necessarily than Wingard or even Murray at this point in time. I know I'm sure there's somebody out there that somebody would be willing to move off of.
Yeah.
But again, that's kind of the tough part is can you really find a starting guy without giving up too much at this point in the year at any of these positions? I don't know. Emmanuel Ogbah is the worst edge defender in the league right now.
For sure.
And we really need Trayvon back. As much as I'd love to say, Smoot's not ready to go out there full time either. We need Trayvon back, but we do need push from the interior D line because Hamilton's doing great in the run game, but we're not really getting a good interior push in the pocket in the passing game. So quarterbacks just do the same thing they've always done, and they just step up and make throws, or they step up and scramble. So
right.
That's really all I've got, though. I don't know.
I don't know.
Nope.
I guess you have to see. Guess you have to see if they're any out in free agent. Who's a free agent out there still?
Yeah, I feel like at this point we'd already scooped somebody if there was somebody really worth it out there.
You got a point. That's a good point.
That's my only thing about it.
Yeah. Well, when is the trading deadline?
The week 9 now, I believe, with the update to 17 weeks, or it might still be week 8. I can't remember. I think it's 9 though.
Well, okay. I do believe Gladstone's on the phone. It's just hard to say with who about what.
I agree with you. He's probably on the phone. I do agree with that. Yeah. Without a doubt.
Well, that's all I got, boys.
Yep.
That's about all I have. We on a bye week, y'all, so no game this week to talk about.
Unfortunately, we still took 5 sacks though.
Yeah.
Buda Baker be a good. I think Buda Baker would be a solid fit. I think he's still a good athlete. He kind of, he's not a game breaker, but I think he's a solid player that could come in and play in our defense pretty easily. We run. I saw a thing. We run zone coverage 88% of the time. It's not like we have a really hard defense to figure out. We're number 2 behind the Vikings, who run it 98% of the time or 96% of the time. Look like me on Madden. Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot about Buda Baker.
The Buddha.
But yeah, that's all I have.
Bengals are playing the Jets this week. Come to me for your fantasy advice. Pick up the Bengals defense. They're playing the Jets this week.
Hell yeah.
Put T. Higgins in. And Jamar Chase.
All right, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's it. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Remember to subscribe
and like. Yeah. Do all the things. Thank you for coming, gentlemen, sirs, ladies, whoever's here.